My daddy likes robots.
Hello everyone, this is Cybertronianbeast, and let's talk Transformers. Today we're taking a look at Masterpiece Soundwave. Now, right off the bat, I gotta thank my friend James, or Dogcades on Twitter. He acquired this figure by going to the US, where it's already been released, and picking it up at Toys R Us in Port Huron, I believe he was. So the box looks like it has been through a bit of a scuffle. Probably somebody found it as James found it, and they fought over it. This is what I imagine in my head. A brouhaha ensued, and James came out on top. But the box really doesn't matter all that much. All that matters is what's inside. So we've got ourselves a Masterpiece Soundwave to take a look at today, and I can't be more thankful to him for going through all that trouble to get it for us. So at first, this is definitely the biggest box I've ever tried to review, and you can see that it's just impossible to fit all in one frame. So I'm just going to quickly run through it here. You've got a nice picture on the front showing all the tapes and Soundwave. On the side here, you've got his tech specs. Take a pause of the video here if you want to take a quick peek. There's his Masterpiece bio. Again, just pause the video there if you want to take a better read of it. On the back, you've got a really nice picture of all of the tapes in robot and alt mode, and Soundwave with his Energon cube, and the fact that you can put the tapes inside of him, which as fans we already knew. Now the other side of the box shows something that I was unaware of, but thinking about it, I'm like, it kind of made sense. This is the 30th anniversary of Transformers coming up in 2014, and the Thrilling 30 is the promotion they're kind of doing, the gimmick they're doing with all their figures. So Masterpiece Soundwave is figure 9 of 30. And it took me a second to kind of figure it out, but obviously they're doing 30 fairly special figures for the Thrilling 30. And this is obviously number 9. So let's get this thing open and take a look. Okay, so here is Masterpiece Soundwave out of the box, and he is magnificent. I have yet to see a Masterpiece figure in any capacity let me down anywhere. But it's more than just this figure that comes with that comes in the package. You've got his tapes. So we've got Frenzy, Rumble, Buzzsaw, Ravage, Laserbeak, and even the tapes have some accessories. So we've got Frenzy's pile drivers and his back weapons in here. Rumble's pile drivers and his weapons in here. Soundwave comes with an Energon cube that you can attach to his chest. He comes with a data screen that just kind of fits right over top of here. He comes with this little thing, which actually can replace a hand as a little blaster and also fits on the side of him in alt mode. Soundwave has a gun. Remember, he actually does carry a weapon. So I'll show you how to use that. And surprisingly enough, he comes with a Megatron in alt mode to use. And this gun here, this Megatron, is the exact same Megatron that came with MP-01 Optimus Prime, because I have that, and this is mine. So the only difference that I was able to find was the extended stock here on the back. That's the only difference. So, but yeah, you get a Megatron. So you got lots of stuff, lots of fun, cool stuff with Masterpiece Soundwave. So let's get into, let's do the tapes first, because everyone knows the tapes are awesome. So we'll do them first. Right. So kids, maybe a lot of you might not know, but before CDs, there was a thing called a cassette tape. And these are what they looked like. Now, these are a lot smaller than what the real cassette tapes looked like, but these are a really good representation. And the fact that Soundwave would hold a cassette tape in his chest was just awesome. Now, this is Laserbeak, and the engineering on Masterpiece is just phenomenal. Now, back in the 80s, the fact that they could make Laserbeak just the little buzzard out of a cassette shape was phenomenal. And then you would add on weapons and, you would go from there. But these days, the Masterpiece guys, they've got the weapons built into this shape. And that just blows my mind. I have here my original Laserbeak tape. Now, they are the exact same size. And with that being said, they both fit into Soundwave, which is phenomenal. Now you'll see here on the back that there is some differences in the transformation. We'll go through them here. Let's do the Masterpiece one, because this is the Masterpiece review. What you want to do first is you want to open up these wings, just here. And then you're going to take these engines, I guess they are, and you're going to flip them up. They have little wings on the top. You're going to flip them up like so. So it looks like that. And that's the part that was an add-on to the original. And then you're going to flip the feet down like so. Whoops, I forgot the head. You got to pop the head out first. I completely forgot to do the head. So you push this little spot in the middle here. There's a little spot right in the middle. You just push that out with your fingernail or something. And that allows you to grab the head of Laserbeak. And then you just pull that out and you're good. Now you can put the engines back and the feet. Got ahead of myself there, sorry. And now you grab these wing bits and you just pull them to the side, like so. And obviously you can adjust the wings if you want to. They don't go up, they go down, but whatever. I like to leave them out straight. This particular one has a really loose joint on the foot. Come on. Oh, there we go. Okay. Has a really loose joint on the foot here. So getting it to go in its in a static motion or a static position is kind of difficult. But then again, you can just kind of hold it like that and then you've got it. Now, Laserbeak has a camera in his head, if you remember the 86 movie. And it's hard to get to, but you've got to kind of maneuver your fingers in there, and then you can get it. There we go. So we'll see if we can zoom in here and you can see. There you go. So there you go. You got Laserbeak's camera on the top of his head, a la the 1986 movie. So we just put that down because it falls down on its own. So yeah, Laserbeak. Now the transformation on the original was really simple. Really what you did was you flipped down these big honking legs here, which never moved. You pulled the wings out like so, and you grabbed the head and you pulled it out. So that was essentially that, and then you had to add on the ginormous engines, which made them look a lot more Laserbeak-like, but it was a little bit more parts forming. So this is way cooler. Still the same shape, but there's no parts that you have to add on after the fact. But this will still always be, you know, the original. And there's no camera in this head, so that's too bad. Anyway, moving on. Laserbeak's done. Buzzsaw. Buzzsaw is the exact same as Laserbeak, only different colors. So we'll fly through this transformation again, really quickly. The wings we will do. I will do the head now because that's the proper way of doing it. He also has a camera on his head. I believe it's only because the mold is the exact same, but Buzzsaw was never seen shooting any, doing any spying like Laserbeak did. And the legs on Buzzsaw are much better than Laserbeak's. So there you go, Buzzsaw. The next, we'll do Frenzy. So here is Frenzy. Now in the G1 show, the purple cassette, or the light blue, or whatever, was Rumble. And that was wrong. That was a mistake on the North American show. He was supposed to be called Frenzy, but they screwed it up, and only recently have they been trying to fix that. So the transformation here is you want to just separate the legs. You want to bring them around. The foot just kind of drops down like that. You do a twist forward because that's the front of the body. Do the same thing on the other side. The tapes are really simple. Just like that. You bring the arms down like so. There is a nice elbow joint here. The hands are buried in the side. Like so. And the head, you just have to apply some pressure to the back, and then you got to use your fingernail to get it out. Like so. And then it's backwards, so you just got to spin it. Bam. You got yourself a Frenzy. I like to make sure the knees are closer to the front of the leg there. But he's a great looking figure. I love the head sculpt on him. I'll see if I can get close here for you. And there is Frenzy. And yeah, he looks fantastic. Yeah. Now, both Frenzy and Rumble both have add-ons, like parts that you can use to make them a little bit more show accurate. Now, these guys used pile drivers, and their pile drivers are not transformable into the body, obviously. These things are humongous. They come with this little piece that keeps them together. There is supposed to be a way you can combine this with Soundwave himself. I've forgotten where that goes. So what you do is you just take it out of there, open up this top bit here, pull out Frenzy's back weapons. And there you go, you got those. So we'll just put those to the side for now. And now we've got the pile drivers here. I like to open up them like this. To add the pile drivers to the arms, you've got to collapse the hand. And then you have to turn the arm and make it like a 90-degree angle like that. Okay? Then you just kind of stick it in there like that. And it doesn't really click in anywhere, unfortunately. You drop the top like that. And yeah, it's not perfect, unfortunately. I'm sure that there is an alteration that could be made. I was fiddling around with it last night, trying to see if you could cut a bit out of the inside of the pile driver to make room for it to kind of snap in, and there probably could be, but again, this is not my figure, so I'm not about to do that. But they hold okay with pressure, just like that. And then you've got the back weapons that you can attach to Frenzy. Like so. And perfect. I really like the way that he looks. The coloring is great. The only part that I don't like is the space between the back weapons. It looks too far apart. Obviously, they had to figure out a way to get these inside the pile drivers, so they made them smaller. They probably could have filled in a lot of this gap if they had made these back weapons bigger, but I'm really not going to complain. I mean, they did this all for a tape figure, and I like it. They did a really good job by me. Rumble, again, the exact same. I'm not really going to add his pile drivers to him because they're exactly the same, but the transformation is identical again. So we'll just fly through this one. The feet. Like so. The coloring on Rumble is fantastic. Come on. The hands are a bit of a bugger to get out because they're so small. They are very small. But I just love the G1 accuracy on these things. It's fantastic. So there he is. And remember, once you get it all like this, there is a last step. If you grab onto the top, the chest and then the lower part of the torso, you can separate it to make a bit of a gap there. So remember to do that. And again, his face sculpt is fantastic. I'll see if I can zoom in here for you. Perfect. Look at that. Like I said, his coloring is just remarkable. So we've got Laserbeak, Buzzsaw, Frenzy, Rumble. Who's left? Ravage. Now, Ravage has been getting a lot of bad press. People do not like the way Ravage is put together. You gotta realize they've done all this engineering out of a tape. A tape, people. That being said, I kind of agree with them, but I have to admit that this is a tape, and I give them credit. This is well done. What you want to do first is you want to pull his head out from the top of the tape. Remember, there is the Ravage nose is buried inside the head, so you want to grab that before you close the head, and it is a pain sometimes. It's very tight. So you got that there, perfect, and the Ravage head is done. On the sides, the two legs, the panther legs, or the jaguar legs, are are pegged in together. So you can, once you separate them, everything else will kind of fall apart. You'll drop down the rear leg and bring the hind quarters of Ravage around. Do the other side, and exact same thing. Bring the hind quarters around. Ravage's tail, flip that out while you're doing this. Makes it a lot easier at the end. His back hips are articulated, so you can actually get some movement out of that. That's kind of nice. The front legs, you get the front shoulders to face down, and you get the legs in a position which you're happy with. There is no right or wrong way to face his feet. I mean, if you want him facing down or in a particular stance, you just put him in that stance. I think a lot of the anger, or not anger, but disappointment is geared towards the shape of the legs on the back. They are kind of they lack a certain feel, but I mean, they've done the same thing that Laserbeak and Buzzsaw have. They've built his weapons into the body, which is fantastic. So yeah, you can do that there. You can also put his head down, like you can make it so that he's, sniffing a trail or something like that. But I really love the paint that's done on his shoulders. He's got the Decepticon symbol on both front shoulders, and he's just, depending on how you place his legs, he stands really well. So I'm happy with Ravage. I mean, sure, he could be better. I think the best Ravage so far is still device label Ravage, the one that was the memory stick, which I have in a previous video. You can take a look at that one and tell me what you think. So those are the tapes, and I like them. I think they're great. Let's move on to Soundwave, because really that's why we're here, right? All right, and here's Soundwave again. First things, before we get into anything, I want to bring in my G1 Soundwave. He's reissued, but he's great for a comparison. And there we go. Yeah, he is tiny in comparison. But this was what we had in the 80s. Like, this was the best Soundwave. And yeah, I mean, they had the tape gimmick in the original Soundwave as well. And let's use a Masterpiece tape. Here's Laserbeak. Let's throw Laserbeak in there. He's in. Look at that. That's awesome. Like, that boggles my mind that they still are using the same size tapes. I'm sure that there's a ton of people out there that have 80s tapes still. Here is G1 Laserbeak. Let's throw him in Masterpiece Soundwave. Bam! Look at that. Amazing. Got Masterpiece Soundwave or Laserbeak out. And perfect. That's just amazing. I love it. So we'll get G1 Soundwave out of there. So there is a bit of a gimmick with the tapes, and I'll show you that right now. It's pretty cool. We've got Laserbeak. Buzzsaw. Ravage. And that is just phenomenal. I love how that works. 3 tapes in there. It's the same kind of gimmick they were using with the Fall of Cybertron Soundwave with the discs, which was horrendous, but still, it's great. I love it. So we'll put those to the side here and get to looking at Soundwave himself. Starting with the feet, this is a perfect representation of what Soundwave looked like in G1. They've even kept in some of the knobs and the sliders. And the buttons on him still push. They don't do anything, but they still push. A great representation. As far as articulation goes, he has, if you pull, he has a foot tilt here, and if you pull out a bit of an extension on his foot here, you can get a really good ankle tilt on him. So there is a bit of an ankle tilt there. You just have to work with it a bit. Knees, a really strong knee joint there, as well as a swivel on the knee. There's a knee swivel there. Waist swivel, which will go 360. Arms, you're going to get 360 there. There is a bicep swivel. An elbow joint that will go, will make the motion that, let's get him in a proper position here. We'll do the motion of pushing his own button so that he can open his chest, which is just great. His hands are essentially the same hands that you got on MP-10. 3 fingers that are molded together, move together, and then you have the index finger, which is molded independently. If you can see it there, so you have a knuckle. You have it molded there with a knuckle, then knuckle there, and knuckle there, so you can get a motion there. And this was a big complaint on the MP-10 because if you push it too much, the finger comes off. So be careful with your sound waves here, people, because a lot of fingertips are being lost. But yeah, so that's his arms, and the head is let's get the head. There we go. The head is on a up and down. You can swivel 360. Yeah, he can do lots with that. The shoulder cannon can kind of move. And he has his weapon, which this is it here. And it does transform into something he can carry on his back. So you just have to push the gun part in, like so, and then the just collapses all into this small little battery looking thing. And then that all fits onto his back right here. Perfect. Then you've got the shoulder cannon, which you just kind of extend like this, turn it around, and push it in like so. And you've got it all like that. And that's Soundwave without any weapons. To use this little piece of accessory, which I don't remember which episode he used it in, but what you got to do is you got to collapse the hand and put it in there, and then you've got these 2 tabs on there, so you can just peg it onto that, and there you go. You've got that. And like I said, he can hold Megatron. So you got to take the stock off. Open up his hand, extend the grip, make it a little bit wider here, so you can hold it. Just kind of slide it in there, and then close his hand on it. And he will hold Megatron. It's very well done. the Energon cube that he comes with. I believe there's a papercraft thing you can get online where you just print it off and fill it so that it's pink. But essentially you just take the lid off and you attach it to his chest like so. And there you go. And he can just kind of hold it or whatnot. The data screen just fits over top of the existing one here. And there you can put, I saw that there were little images that you could put underneath here, so it would look like he was showing schematics. But yeah, that's the extent of Soundwave and his accessories. So we'll get rid of those, and we'll get into the transformation. So we've already done one hand, so let's do the other hand, and we'll keep going with that. Collapse the fist, slide it in. There we go. We got to do the head. The head, you come around, you open up this little slot on the back, and you pull the whole head back, like so. Very similar to G1, just a little bit of an extra step with this compartment. The arms, they untab from a thing on the side here. Come around to the side. Whoops, I forgot one step. There's a panel on the side of the arm here. You want to lift that up because that covers the weapons or the batteries now. So you do that. Keep the arms straight. Same on the other side. Flip the panel up and untab. Perfect. Okay, come around. Now the legs. It is very similar to the G1, only a couple extra bits, right? All right, so for the legs, what we're doing is we are twisting the leg this way. There's a button on the back, very similar to MP-10. We're going to push that, and it's going to collapse a little bit. Then we're going to twist up and turn in. Then we're bringing this chunk down like that, and we're taking this all out and turning it to the side. And then all of this stuff here is getting pegged into this large peg on this side here. Like that. There is a peg for the leg right in here. Let's do that just because it's wibbling and wobbling around here. Great. And then this stuff here that's all sticking out, this all collapses in on itself. So let's do that. Just like that. Perfect. The other side. We'll do that there. We'll bring down this large section here, peg it in. We're almost done. We've got this large gap here underneath the door. What we want to do is we want to open up this here, this crotch area, and we're going to just move up the buttons, and then we'll peg everything back in here. And that should do it. And that should put us into alt mode for Soundwave. And it looks fantastic. I love it. I love this mode for Soundwave. A lot of people these days don't know what he is, because a lot of kids don't have any experience with him. But yeah, awesome tape deck. Best part about this thing, you've got a 3.5mm port on the top of them, and it is it. Why won't it take it now? Anyway, that backfired. And yeah, everything looks legit here. Like, you got a slider there, you got a little roller there, you got these little things here. So take your accessory, a little blaster, add it to it, and now you've got that little port. All you got to remember is he connected himself in the movie to a computer, so that's your connection. All the same stuff still applies. Energon cubes, look at that. Boom. Because none of this has changed. It's all still the same size. All those cassettes still fit. You can still do all the same gimmicks. Right? It's fantastic. This is a great figure. Great figure. The bottom and the back look atrocious, though. Like, it just looks mangled, and I don't know. There's nothing that you can do about it, really. It's just the way that it is. But yeah, it just looks like it's just mangled into. It's just terrible. But unfortunately, you don't see that. It's not something that you're going to be dealing with on a regular basis. So that's what you get to work with. Quickly, I'm going to bring in my G1 Soundwave, if I can do them quickly here, for a comparison, because really this is what it all came from, right? And there he is. And it doesn't really shift down that much. He's not that big, not that much smaller. Like, the robot size, he was really that much bigger, but there is a lot more beef to the Masterpiece one than there is the original G1. Yeah, that's just it's amazing. I am totally thrilled about this. Thank you again to James for getting this for me to review. You can have it back now, buddy. I know you've been aching to play with it, so yeah, you can take it. I can't wait to get my own, because it's just a phenomenal figure. And if you want to check out more pictures of Soundwave, I have taken a nice album of him on and put him up on my Facebook page. So just search Cybertronianbeast on Facebook, and you'll see them there. If you want to follow me on Twitter, you can do so. Just search Cybertronianbeast on Twitter, and that will be me. And we can chat about Transformers. I like to talk with people and answer questions and all that kind of stuff. If you want to talk with me on Reddit, that's where I put all my videos. Just search for the Transformers subreddit. It's, I believe it's reddit.com/r/Transformers is the actual URL. So you can use that, and I have a link to it on my Facebook or on my YouTube page. But definitely subscribe to my YouTube page, because that is where you get all this awesome stuff. You're not going to be able to see my videos unless you stumble across them. But if you subscribe to my page, all my videos will come to you in an email. So do that. A lot of people have already subscribed, and they are pretty awesome people. So if you would like to be a pretty awesome person, subscribe. So thanks again. This has been Cybertronianbeast, and I'll talk to you later.